The role of Indigenous peoples in protecting our planet cannot be underestimated. According to the World Bank, they make up around 6% of the world's population, but safeguard as much as 80% of the Earth's precious biodiversity. Well, my next guests have made an acclaimed film that highlights the bond humans have with the Earth and the animals that inhabit it. The Elephant Whisperers tells the story of Boman and Belly, a couple in South India who have devoted their lives to taking care of Raghu, an orphaned baby elephant. You can see him here. The buzz around the film has been widespread. It's also the first all-female-led film from India, I believe, and now it's been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Short. And while the film showcases a unique family dynamic, it also quietly highlights the impact climate change is having on the Asian elephant population. And I'm pleased to say joining us now are the director and producer of the film, Kartiki Gonsalves and Gunit Monga. Kartiki is the only South Asian woman director nominated for Best Documentary Short this year. Ladies, welcome and huge congratulations. It's a huge moment for you. It's a huge moment, I think, for Indian film, but also for the Elephant Whisperers, whose incredible work you documented. Gunit, let's begin with you. The message that you wanted this documentary to send.
For us, this is about conservation. This is about coexistence. It is about getting humans closer to the animal world, because there is a way where there is a coexistence between both of them. So we wanted to lean into that, the emotional aspect of the wild and the nature and the man with our film Elephant Whisperers.
Yeah, and the debt we owe, I think, to Indigenous peoples all over the world who protect all of that biodiversity and ecosystem and the animals for us. Kartiki, that was what was so pivotal. One of the things that was so pivotal about this for me, the cinematography is incredible. You did such an amazing job with this. But also, this is so personal for you because it's the part of the world where you grew up.
Yes, it all began when I was driving on my way from Ooty to Bangalore, and I saw this tiny little elephant calf on the side of the road. And you had this little calf walking around holding on to Bowman's hand. And I saw that there was this very special bond. So I pulled my car on the side and I jumped out and I went and joined them to the river. And they were just splashing around in the water and it was just really beautiful. I noticed that there was this unusual family dynamic that was there. And during this time, I also realized that there was this bittersweet beginning to the story because the Asian elephant is just losing its habitat at a very rapid pace due to encroachment and climate change. In a fast developing country like India, there are roughly about 35,000 to 40,000 Asian elephants left. And the situation is very grim. We're losing elephants at alarming rates due to poaching and human-animal conflict. But I wanted the story to be positive. Why focus on all the depressing parts when we were living in this beautiful place? And I think in this time, there are just so many stories of animals being killed, species dying out. And this was a positive story that highlights the beauty of man and animal working together. I believe coexistence is the way that we move forward into the future. And only with mutual respect and cooperation can we save the planet.
Yeah, I mean, the message is so important, Kartiki. I think one of the things that I sort of imagined, but I didn't realize until I watched this, is how tame these gentle giants are when they're in this situation. I mean, he's playful, he's naughty at times. There is this sort of parent-child relationship with his parents and the Elephant Whisperers, but there's something critical to these elephants for the society there too. They're a fundamental part of the society.
I'm hoping that people will be able to relate to Raghu. So many films show the danger of animals, and I wanted to show the love and connection to animals. The elephant is such a large animal, and they need to be treated with respect, but they're also loving and capable of lifelong bonds. They seem to have a sense of humor as well, and they have so many similar traits to humans, and I hope that people will switch from seeing them as the other and start seeing them as one of us.
Yeah, and there's deep spirituality in this too. Gunit, if you can comment on this. Because Boman isn't just an elephant protector, he's also a Hindu priest. And one of the quotes for me which really stood out, this is God's presence in my life. without him we have nothing. And he was referring to Raghu as providing that sort of spirituality and that touch point, I think, with God.
Yes, it is for us also, it is a sacred bond. It is deeply spiritual. Just watching the whole experience and their work with Raghu and with Amo, their connection with each other. For us also, this is absolutely a sacred bond between wild and human. And yes, he does look at it as a blessing from God. And there are just so beautiful things that Bowman says, like, we take we get everything we need from the jungle, and we take only as much as is sufficient. So whatever we need, we have. But the concept of sufficiency is so important, and that's what the indigenous community really takes care of. And yes, we do have Ganesha as a lord in India, and they do pray and they do relate to blessings of elephant for their as that is the work that they do, is working with elephants. And this is the first time that this couple was able to protect a baby elephant and bring it back as Raghu was orphaned, and raise it well to a healthy elephant.
And the story doesn't shy away from that. It is a sort of a visual safari and so beautiful in terms of the relationships. But Kartiki, you don't shy away from the fact that Raghu was orphaned and how he was orphaned.
So it all went back. When Raghu was orphaned, he was actually in this small little village, and his mother got electrocuted. And as they wandered into a nearby village in search of food and water, and I think this is one of the most prevalent examples of climate change in our day-to-day life. You had this wild herd that wandered into a nearby village in search of food and water, and that's when she got electrocuted and she died on the spot. And here you had baby Raghu, who was hanging around next to her body for many days. And post that, he went and moved off and he joined a herd of cows. We started eating grass, and I think he was not able to get enough food because he didn't have the stomach of a cow. And then after that, he sort of resorted to moving towards the local village, where he started stealing fruits and vegetables from the local shops nearby. And that's when he got attacked by stray dogs. And that's the reason he does not have a tail at this point. And that's when the forest officers intervened, and the local people. And that's when they realized that they couldn't actually take care of an elephant calf. So they gave him some water, they helped to dress his wounds, and they called Bowman from the forest department to come over and to look after him. And after about a month or so, after he got slightly more recovered, this is when they took him back to the camp. And they also tried to reunite him with his herd during that time, because the forest department really looks at trying to reunite calves that are orphaned or abandoned to try and find their wild herds. And when everything fails is when they actually think about bringing the calf back to the camp.
Yeah, and he was 3 months old, and I know you were filming this for over a period of 5 years. It's just incredible. Okay, very quickly, because I have 2 minutes left. Fast forward to the moment, and we showed the video in the tease where you realised that you had an Academy Award or an Oscar nomination, and everyone's jumping around in huge excitement. It's a huge moment for the Elephant Whisperers. Here we go. This is it. I love this. Can you tell me how this moment felt, and what winning would feel like?
I mean, we're already so grateful to be shortlisted, so grateful to be nominated. We're so grateful to be here for the whole experience. The film is live on Netflix. Around the world, people are watching it, and we are getting fan art from around the world. It has been an experiment. It has been an exceptional experience being here, working on it. Neil deGrasse Tyson hosted our screening in New York. It has been just incredible, from strength to strength to strength. I mean, if I feel like the elephants, God bless us, and we do win, it'll be historic. It's already historic for both of us. This is Kartiki's debut film, and for both of us to be here, it's just very, very grateful. The feeling is surreal and of gratitude, filled with gratitude.